There comes a point in every person's life where they realize that no one is coming to save them. No mentor, no coach, no friend, no family member can walk into your mind and make you do the things you keep avoiding. And that's the place I want to start, because most people don't fail from a lack of desire. They fail because they haven't learned to truly care about themselves. If you genuinely cared about yourself, your behavior would change. You wouldn't wake up every day tolerating the same patterns, the same excuses, the same unfinished tasks. You wouldn't let the same doubts dictate your entire life. Real growth begins the moment you decide to do things you don't want to do. Not because someone expects it from you, not because you're chasing applause, but because you know that avoiding difficulty is exactly why you stay stuck. We all want mental toughness, but we look for it in comfort. That's impossible. Comfort doesn't build warriors, suffering does, discipline does. Willingly walking into the things you fear is what builds a mind that cannot be broken. Every human being has two voices. One is the voice of fear, insecurity, weakness, and short-term comfort. The other is the voice of possibility, accountability, and strength. Most people let the weak voice win because it's easier. It's always easier, but that easy choice destroys your potential one small compromise at a time. You wake up years later and wonder where your confidence went. You wonder why nothing changes. You wonder why life feels heavy. It's because you've been letting the wrong voice run your life. The greatest battles you will ever fight are not in the gym, on the track, or in your career. They happen in the 6 inches between your ears. If your mind is chaotic, undisciplined, and cluttered, discipline won't stick. It will slip through the cracks like water. But if your mind is organized, clean, quiet, structured, discipline becomes natural. You stop relying on motivation and start relying on identity. You say, "This is who I am," and you act accordingly. People talk a lot about purpose, like it's some mystical thing waiting out in the world for them to find. But the truth is that your first purpose is always the same: become the strongest version of yourself. Not for validation, not for a job, not for a competition, but because you know you can be more than what you are today. Life will take things from you. People will leave. Opportunities will disappear. But if you build yourself relentlessly, brick by brick, no one can take that away. There was a time in my life when I was weak, not just physically, but mentally, emotionally, spiritually. I was the byproduct of excuses, trauma, pain, and fear. But I realized something important: the person I was didn't have to be final. I didn't have to accept that version of myself as permanent. So I built a new identity. I created a stronger version of me, not because I felt inspired, but because I was tired of being ashamed of the man I saw in the mirror. The world didn't hand me strength. I built it from the ground up through suffering, silence, and relentless confrontation with everything I avoided. People want confidence, but they misunderstand where it comes from. Confidence is not positive thinking. It's not repeating affirmations in the mirror. Confidence is earned. It's the result of undeniable proof. Proof that you did the work when no one was watching. Proof that you faced fear instead of running from it. Proof that you kept going when your mind screamed for you to quit. That proof becomes a resume of what you've overcome. And that resume is what allows you to walk into any situation and know you can handle it. Most of the time, when you think you're done, you're only at about 40% of your true capacity. Your mind has a built-in mechanism that slows you down long before your body actually gives out. It's trying to keep you safe, but safe is not where growth lives. Safe is not where self-respect is born. You build self-respect by demanding more from yourself than your feelings think you can handle. And when you push past that imaginary barrier, even by one step, you transform the relationship you have with your mind. Life will not always give you something to train for. There won't always be a race, a deadline, or a competition to prepare for. If you rely on external goals to be disciplined, you'll crumble when life becomes quiet. The real test is who you are when no one is watching, when there are no milestones on the horizon, when the world forgets your name. Can you still show up for yourself at the highest level? Can you still demand greatness when there is no reward waiting for you? That is real internal pride, and most people never develop it because they only work hard when the world is looking. But here's the truth: suffering is unavoidable. Life will test you whether you are prepared or not. You can choose the suffering of discipline or the suffering of regret. You can choose the discomfort of growth or the discomfort of staying the same. One leads to strength, the other leads to silent misery. The reason I embrace discomfort daily is not because I enjoy it, but because I refuse to let life surprise me with pain I'm not ready for. I do something hard every day so that when life hits me, I'm already conditioned for the blow. Humility is an essential part of this journey. I've met people who accomplished great things and then grew arrogant, forgetting what it took to get there. But real warriors stay grounded. They know that yesterday's accomplishments don't matter today. I once saw a man who earned the Medal of Honor sweeping floors, like it was the most important task in the world. He wasn't above anything. His ego didn't control him. That humility stuck with me because it reminded me that titles are temporary. Character is forever. When you decide to commit to something, whether it's fitness, business, healing, personal growth, you must walk through the door completely. Half-committed people never build momentum. They dip a toe in retreat when it gets uncomfortable, and then wonder why nothing changes. But if you choose a path and attack it with full intensity, everything shifts. The world bends around people who refuse to be denied. The biggest transformation comes from organizing your mind. Most people don't fail because they're lazy. They fail because their mind is a cluttered attic full of distractions, emotions, fears, and old stories they never cleaned out. If your mind is messy, your life will be messy. You need to build a mental laboratory, a place inside yourself where you can reflect, analyze, and solve problems without emotion clouding everything. Silence, solitude, writing, and reflection are not luxuries. They are tools that sharpen your mind. Once you clean the mental garage, discipline becomes easy. Success in life is not created by big dramatic moments. It's built in the dark, in the silence, in thousands of tiny decisions that no one sees. It's waking up early when your bed feels warm and safe. It's going for a run when your legs feel heavy. It's reading when your mind feels slow. It's choosing the harder path because you know the easier one will erase your confidence. Most people only work hard when it feels good. Champions work hard especially when it doesn't. There's a different kind of peace that comes when you stop hiding from yourself, when you stop lying, when you stop pretending that your habits don't matter, when you stop blaming your past for the choices you're making today, when you finally sit down with your pain, your fears, your insecurities, and confront them with honesty instead of shame, something shifts inside you. Shame kills growth, but honesty, even painful honesty, creates transformation. You have to treat your life like a science experiment. Try things, remove things, add things, observe what helps you and what hurts you. You might realize that the things you blame for your stress were actually the things that kept you grounded. Structure, discipline, routine, these aren't chains. They're anchors. They give you stability so you can handle the unpredictability of life. You might think you need freedom, but sometimes too much freedom makes you feel lost. Sometimes discipline is the very thing that sets you free. I've learned that no matter how much you accomplish, life will still bring you moments where you feel directionless. That doesn't mean you're broken. It means you're evolving. Being lost isn't a curse. It's a sign that you've outgrown the old version of yourself. If you stay on the same path just because it's familiar, you'll never discover what else you could become. But if you allow yourself to be lost, you may find a new path that's even better. When everything feels chaotic, you need one constant, one thing within your control that keeps you grounded. For some people, it's writing. For others, it's running. For me, it has always been the gym. When life feels heavy and directionless, the weights are always there. They don't lie to you. They don't judge you. They don't care about your excuses. You show up, you put in the work, and you get stronger. It's simple, honest, reliable. And sometimes that's all you need. One consistent place where you can build momentum again. If you feel lost right now, understand this, it won't last forever. You are in the process of becoming someone new. The path you were on may have looked successful from the outside, but if it wasn't aligned with your highest values, it would have eventually broken you. Being lost means you have the chance to rebuild, to redefine, to grow, to discover something you couldn't see before. It won't be easy, but it will be worth it. Start by doing something simple, something within your control, something that builds confidence. Go work out, go for a run, go lift weights. Not because it solves everything overnight, but because it gives you momentum, it gives you clarity, it gives you discipline, and discipline creates direction. When you start taking small actions, the fog begins to lift. You don't need to know your entire path. You just need to take the next honest step. So if you're lost, don't panic, don't quit, and don't numb yourself with distractions. Use this moment to build a stronger version of you. The world may not see it right now, but one day they will. The new you is built in silence, one decision at a time. And when you finally meet the version of yourself that was waiting on the other side of your excuses, you'll understand why the struggle was necessary. You'll understand why discomfort was the doorway. And you'll understand that you were never actually lost. You were just in the middle of becoming who you were meant to be.